Welcome to Open Mic. Wow, they let the farmer bro out of jail? Hide your medicine prices and your Wu-Tang albums. Welcome to Open Mic. We like to start the show with some stories or take on a story you won't get anywhere else. I grew up in Prince George's and live in the district, so you know these jokes come from a place of very ugly, broken, almost unrecognizable love. We're going to start with the latest update from Metro, where one day after the outgoing CEO and COO both resigned suddenly, the Washington Metro Safety Commission reported that Metro bypassed their own safety procedures and re-energized the third rail while transit police officers were out on the tracks at Columbia Heights Station.
Metro's independent safety overseer not just asking, but ordering Metro to do something about it. This past weekend here at Columbia Heights Metro Transit police officers out on the tracks, and Metro re-energized the rails without following its own written procedures. And the Safety Commission says that this kind of thing has been going on over and over again for years.
Didn't I tell you Amada just hates to see Bruce LaShan? They just know he coming with some bad news. I tell you that right there. Look, Metro's out here trying to fry people. That is not cool in any sense of the phrase. No wonder leadership is running towards the door. I wouldn't want to answer questions from reporters about making transit cops do the electric slide for their lives. It's electric, woogie, woogie, woogie. Now, I'm only making jokes because thankfully no one has been hurt yet. But in all seriousness, you got to get it together because the safety measures already exist. Use them, people. Now, I chose this next story because y'all know how I feel about fast food, or as I call it, sustenance. A class action lawsuit has been filed against McDonald's and Wendy's, claiming the restaurant chains are overstating the size of their burgers and the amount of toppings they put on them in their advertisements. Now, neither company has publicly responded to this lawsuit, according to our news partners at the Washington Post. Hey, this lawsuit should have happened years ago. Why didn't we as kids think of this? Fast food never looks like it does in the commercials when you buy it in real life. We just, accepted that. Here's a hilarious example that can be seen in a tweet that reads, "Wendy's, this is supposed to be your new bourbon bacon burger. This is not at all worth $9. Y'all trip." Yeah, that's amazing. That is actually performance art right here. This has gone beyond being angry. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. I really am. McDonald's and Wendy's need to go on and settle this lawsuit because y'all saw it. That is shameful. Y'all didn't even try. That burger is crying out for help. I need to know how I can get in on this lawsuit. I can't wait for the legal ads about all this. Like, have you or a loved one eaten a McDouble that looked like it got run over by a truck? Was your Baconator filled with bacon bits? Did your order look like the Wish.com version of the food in the picture? If so, you may be entitled to compensation. Call the law offices of Fry and Grease today. Hey, your day of reckoning approaches, McDonald's and Wendy's. Y'all are going to have to pay for selling burgers out here looking like flattened hockey pucks and floppy disk for all these years. And shout out to anybody old enough to remember what a floppy disk is. Next, the carryout, because it never looks like it does on those windows either. Now we're headed to the birthplace of Johnny Cash, Kingsland, Arkansas, for this next story, where a water tower bearing a silhouette of Cash was shot in the groin region of the figure, giving the appearance of Cash urinating on the town.
You could tell it was people just doing it to be funny. And
That was a good shot.
A really good shot. While the water tower itself is a pretty big target, it appears that this shooter set his sights on something a little more specific.
It looks like Johnny Cash is peeing on gas. I took binoculars and looked at it.
It looks like he's peeing.
But it certainly walks the line between comedy and vandalism.
Oh my gosh, to quote myself like 90 seconds ago, I'm not even mad, I'm impressed. I almost lost it when they showed the little kid with his accent. It looks like he's peeing. Hey, this is a perfect intro into explaining to him the realities of life. There you have it. Johnny Cash helping raise the youth from the grave. Now, the lady said she looked at it with binoculars. I also found that hilarious too. I did not miss that. Now this is the work of a very, very good marksman. That person only had one shot at Johnny Cash's junk, and they hit the mark. As funny as this prank is, I will say, Kingsland is a small town, so this is costing them money. So they should go ahead and make whoever shot it up there go up there and patch up the hole. That is a very fitting punishment, because you already know the shooter is drinking moonshine and bragging about it to somebody. And by the way, don't be surprised if it's a boy named Sue. And finally, I had to include this last story because I like to end things on a positive note. The U.S. Soccer Federation has finally reached agreements to pay its men's and women's teams equally, becoming the first governing body in the sport to promise both sexes matching money. Now, this is excellent and long overdue. The women's soccer team has been consistently outperforming the men for years now. The men are lucky nobody made them give their money back the way they've been playing. So there is hope for the rest of the workforce. This was a big step towards pay equity that hopefully carries over to the business world. I guess it is better late than never. And you know what, U.S. Soccer, if you were going to settle with the ladies, maybe don't drag them first. Then you don't look embarrassed and I have to drag you in the process. My favorite story, very happy for the U.S. women's national team. But you know I'm going with the Johnny Cash water tank. Y'all been watching this show. Come on, you know how we get down. So many jokes in that story I had to leave on the table because the FCC won't let me be great. That is the true sign of a top-notch prank. And for those cut jokes, go ahead and hit me on social media at Reese Waters.